Pau d'Arco is a miracle elixir of longevity, good for providing the body with total harmony. I'm talking about this glorious goodness right here. It's pronounced Pau d'Arco, and we're going to talk a little bit about it, and I'm going to get right into the benefits of it. Pau d'Arco is cooling, bitter, antibiotic, antifungal, antitumoral, antiviral. It's a digestive aid, it's a diuretic, it's a fungicidal, it's anti-diabetic, it's an analgesic, it's an astringent, it eliminates parasites, it's hypotensive. Its constituents are lapicol, quinone, and has recognized anti-tumor agents found in the wood and barely in the bark, according to H. Wagner, head of the Institute of Pharmaceutical Biology at the University of Munich in Germany. Much of the basis for Pau d'Arco reputation is for its immune-stimulating properties. Quinones are present throughout nature. They are involved in the transference of hydrogen and electrons. Lapicol, that's spelled L-A-P-A-C-H-O-L, found in the inner bark, activates human immune cells, lymphocytes, and granulocytes in low concentrations. Lymphocytes include cells that mediate immunological reactions such as T cells. Granulocytes are white blood cells found in the blood that devour foreign cells and bacteria. Lapicol is barely soluble in water. The best Pau d'Arco comes from Argentina. It has significant antifungal properties and has been shown in several studies to be wildly effective at treating cancer. Pau d'Arco is a first-rate blood purifier and can be used for a variety of conditions, including skin diseases, for the treatment of flu, herpes, hepatitis, and for environmental allergies, asthma, leukemia, and anemia. History records its use by Callaway tribe, descendants of the Incas, for the treatment of cancer and a wide range of other diseases. Its healing power was brought to the attention of the scientific community by Theodore Mayer and Prats Ruiz of Argentina. According to Dr. Palo Martin, a medical researcher for the Brazilian government, Dr. Meyer learned of purple laparaco from the Callaway, using it on his patients and reporting complete cures for 5 leukemia victims. In 1960, it was taken up by the Municipal Hospital of Santo Andre, where medical doctors brew the bark on terminal cancer patients. They reported that within 30 days of treatment using this herb, most patients no longer exhibited pain, and many found their tumors also gone or greatly diminished. Reportedly, since that time, the bark has routinely been used at the Municipal Hospital of Santo Andre to treat leukemia, as well as many other diseases suspected to be caused by viruses. Both herb stores and regular pharmacies in Brazil now sell this bark. Pau d'Arco seems to first eliminate the pain caused by the disease and then multiply the number of red corpuscles. Thus, the range of its curative action is phenomenal. It's good for ulcers, diabetes, rheumatism, leukemia, various types of cancers, ringworms, bronchitis, and other respiratory problems, gonorrhea, hemorrhages, cystitis, colitis, gastritis, Parkinson's, atherosclerosis, Hodgkin's disease, lupus, polyps, prostate issues, inflammation of the genital and urinary tract, and anemia. Both doctors James Duke of the National Institute of Health and Dr. Norman Farnsworth of the University of Illinois agree that Pau d'Arco contains active substances found to be effective against cancers. The quality of the bark can influence its effectiveness. The most potent part of the tree is the inner bark, which must be aged after harvesting to maximize its effectiveness. The companies, however, many of them try to sell the outer bark, and they also harvest it from immature trees, and this will not be effective, guys. We need to do our research and take a good critical extract of this pau d'arco. The tea of the sifted inner bark pieces is made by simmering 1 ounce in a pint of boiling water. 1 cup is taken 3 or 4 times daily for acute conditions. For chronic conditions, a half a cup is taken 3 or 4 times daily. Of the tincture, which I've got down here, this is a tincture that I like. I really like this one. This one's pretty good. The Nature's Answer. This is probably my favorite one. The Herb Farm makes a really good one. And you can buy these tinctures most of the time at your local health food store. If they don't have them, just request that they stock them or buy them online. But just do your research, do your homework on which one's making a pure extract of it. Sometimes the lesser expensive one is not often necessarily the best form. But if you're taking the tincture, we want to take the recommended dose is 25 to 40 drops, taken 3 to 4 times daily. Now, let me give you a little tip on that. Don't start with all that. Okay, start about half that dose. Start with about half of whatever the recommended dosage is on the bottle, and then build up, because we want to make sure there's no reaction. Pau d'arco does not play around with ailments in the body. It works rapidly to eliminate a lot of these conditions that we've got, and so oftentimes this will be violent reactions if we're taking large quantities of this in the beginning. We don't want this. The key, guys, the key to longevity is to detoxify your liver. Detoxify your liver and restore your intestinal flora, your good bifidobacteria in your gut, and the rest of your body is just going to follow suit, guys. If you can detoxify your liver, your other organs are shortly thereafter going to follow. And this is the key. The key is to restore the alkalinity within the body. Properly pH your body, get yourself grounded, gaze upon the sun for the decrease in inflammation that the sun provides and the decrease in inflammation that the earth provides when we take our shoes off and we go out and get grounded in it. Start fueling the trillion of cells that we have in our electric body with live healing enzymes. This is going to be most beneficial. We don't need to expect an herb like this to work miracles unless we're willing to stop introducing more free radicals into the body. And if you'll do this and you'll take this herb, guys, I'm telling you, it's on this glorious tree bark is on a whole nother level. Pau d'arco is used for the treatment of most fungal diseases, including thrush, athlete's foot, nail fungus, and ringworm. For digestive improvements in colitis, gastritis, and stomach ulcers, as part of an anti-inflammatory prostate healing combination, externally as a cream or an ointment in the healing of old sores and lesions and diaper rash in babies, used externally as a cream or an ointment in the healing of cold sores and bruises. Pau d'arco has applications in pain relief program associated with arthritis and chemotherapy. It may also be used as part of the treatment of diabetes. Pau d'arco is a primary agent for immune enhancing and overcoming opportunistic diseases such as Candida, which is yeast overgrowth. Guys, sugar feeds yeast, which creates this Candida state. It creates an inflamed body, and this is going to work quickly to eliminate this. It is also an effective blood purifier against many toxic blood conditions such as dermatitis and psoriasis. Pau d'arco has a long and well-documented history of use by the people of the rainforest, indigenous people of the rainforest. Indications imply that its use may actually predate the Incas. Throughout the South America, tribes living thousands of miles apart have employed it for the same medicinal purposes for hundreds of years. Several Indian tribes of rainforest have used pau d'arco wood for centuries to make their hunting bows. Their common names for the tree mean bow stick or bow stem. The Guarana and Tupi Indians called the tree tajay, which means to have strength and vigor. They used the bark to treat many different conditions, and as a general tonic for the same strength and vigor it puts into their bows. Pau d'arco is recorded to be used by forest inhabitants throughout the Amazon for malaria, anemia, colitis, respiratory problems, colds, coughs, flu, fungal infections, fever, arthritis, rheumatism, snake bite, poor circulation, boils, syphilis, and cancer. Pau d'arco has a long history in herbal medicine around the world. In South America, herbal medicine, it is considered to be an astringent, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antifungal, laxative. Guys, it's going to do it all. It is used to treat ulcers, syphilis, urinary tract infections, gastrointestinal problems, Candida and yeast infections, cancer, diabetes, prostate issues, constipation, and allergies. It is used in Brazil herbal medicines for many conditions, including cancer, leukemia, ulcer, diabetes, candida, rheumatism, arthritis, dysentery, boils. In North America, herbal medicine, palo d'arco is considered to be an analgesic, an antioxidant, antiparasitic, antimicrobial, antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and as a laxative, as well as to have anti-cancerous properties. It's used for fevers, infections, colds, flu, syphilis, urinary tract infections, cancer, respiratory problems, skin ulcerations, boils, dysentery, GI problems of all kinds, arthritis, and circulatory disturbances. Palo d'arco is employed in the herbal medicines in the United States for lupus, diabetes, ulcer, leukemia, allergies, liver disease, Hodgkin's disease, Parkinson's disease, psoriasis. It's a popular remedy for candida and for yeast infections. The recorded uses in European herbal medicine systems reveal that it is used in much the same way as the United States for the same conditions. Palo d'arco has been revered by the rainforest Indians for centuries. It's one of the most useful Brazilian herbs. It is called the divine tree. It is helpful in rheumatism and arthritic inflammation, prostate issues, cystitis, beneficial for controlling fungus and yeast overgrowth in the body. This multi-purpose miraculous herb helps prevent tumor formation and is thought to eliminate toxins and purify the blood. Palo d'arco became very popular in 1967 after Dr. Walter Accorsi of the Municipal Hospital in Santo Andre talked to a magazine reporter who printed his story. He said, "From my first experiences with, they call this Iperoxo, that's Iperoxo, 2 words, Palo d'arco, I learned important things which greatly encouraged me in regards to cancer. First, that it eliminated the pain caused by the disease, and second, that it multiplies the number of red blood cells, which is key. This bark is used to treat stomatitis, swelling of the mucous membranes in the mouth, ulcers in the throat, gastric ulcers, itchiness, wounds, eczema, boils. Brazilians call it the divine tree. It helps to increase the red blood cell production and helps respiratory disorders, ulcers, athlete's foot, candida. Palo d'arco can fortify the blood. It helps to dissolve phlegm, and it is antifungal. Research in both the United States and South America show that its ingredients are found to be effective against some forms of cancer and parasites. It helps lower blood sugar levels and promotes digestion. The lapicol from Palo d'arco was recently listed by Purdue University as among the most important anti-tumor agents from plants. Palo d'arco fortifies the blood, antifungal activity, combats candida overgrowth. The tea has been revered by the Indians for centuries as one of the most useful Brazilian herbs. Of course, I've mentioned they call it the divine tree. In an article in 1967, the Dr. Walter Accorsi states that it multiplies the amount of the red blood cells. Experiments have been conducted at the Municipal Hospital at Santo Andre using Palo d'arco in treatment of respiratory problems, ulcers, and a variety of other ailments. They found it to be very, very effective in controlling candida. It dissolves phlegm. It aids in regulation of lung and stomach, relieves stagnation in all meridians of the body. Bitter herb that contains a natural antibacterial agent and has a healing effect, cleans the blood, good for smokers' coughs, candida, warts of all types of infection, diabetes, ulcers, rheumatism, allergies, tumors, AIDS, leukemia, cancer, and liver disease. Resistant strains of Candida develop rapidly due to genetic mutation. Rotating treatment, a treatment program can be most beneficial, guys. We want to rotate the herbs that we're using to combat all of this. Our body doesn't need to get accustomed to taking the same herb every single day. This is the key. The key to longevity is to learn to harmonize with all of these divine herbs and learn to rotate them. Rotate your milk thistle. Rotate your Essiac tea. Rotate your Palo d'arco. Rotate these herbs in, and you're going to find that most beneficial beneficial for your specific condition. What I would recommend, guys, is start with the detox. Start with the basic juice blend and start detoxifying your liver with the beet. Start with about a fourth of the beet and dump the toxins from your liver. Build up to where you're using a full beet when you juice, and this is going to help dump toxins from the liver. And then learn to start ingesting divine tree barks like this, because you're going to find it more beneficial after some of the toxins have already been eliminated, because this I'm telling you, this is going to work on a whole nother level, the cellular repairing level, after the liver is detoxified. But please know it's going to help to eliminate some of these conditions that we've currently got going on in our body, so don't be afraid to start taking this right away. Just start with very small doses and then build up to where you're using the full recommended dose. Check with your medical practitioner if you are taking prescription medications, because it will lessen the effects of many of these harmful toxic chemicals that are in prescription medications. Let me keep reading. It's thought to eliminate toxins in the body and purify the blood. It has antifungal properties. In an original weight loss research study performed in Chicago in 1992, they found that women's chronic yeast infections cleared up promptly when Paldarco was added to the formula. Paldarco has anti-inflammatory characteristics. What is sickness a result of from, guys? All sickness stems from inflammation in the body. All sickness and all disease stems from some type of inflammation. So if we can figure out how to decrease that inflammation, and Paldarco is an herb, is a divine tree bark that's going to get you there fast. It makes it very useful in the treatment of arthritis and other inflammatory diseases. Some researchers report its ability to increase the red blood cell counts and eliminate some symptoms associated with cancer. During the past century, it's come under scientific scrutiny. The first active constituent to be studied was lapacol, which is Lapachol. However, it is interesting to note that many of the studies showed significantly better results with the whole extract and diminishing effectiveness as the extracts are refined or individual chemicals are tested, because oftentimes these studies, they'll pull out one specific chemical constituent of the divine hundreds that are in this. There's hundreds of phytonutrient, divine phytonutrients in this one tree bark, and you can't just study one of these. You've got to study the whole array of the phytonutrients to find out, because the phytonutrients in these guys, they work synergistically together to create harmony. So you can't just pull one out and do a study on that. And this is how a lot of the studies are wildly inaccurate, in my opinion. And this is the reason why a lot of these herbs get bad raps. But guys, there's a lot of divine research on this, and this herb is a miracle elixir. It's going to provide your body total harmony. So just disregard all the nonsense, because all of this is disinformation regarding this herb. And do your research on it, because there are 3 pages of studies on it. Three pages of website links on studies on this, and I'll provide a couple of them on my page. But do your own research on it, because you're going to find that it's just a miracle elixir of longevity, is what it is. Let me go down here, because there was a little bit more I wanted to read. Independent of Meyer, a physician in Brazil about 1960, after hearing a tale of its miraculous curative powers, used it to treat his brother, who was lying in a Santa André, Brazil hospital dying of cancer. His brother completely recovered, and the physician, Dr. Orlando de Santi, began to use the herb to treat cancer patients at the hospital. Other physicians joined the team, and after a few months, several cures were recorded. In the typical case, pain disappeared rapidly, and sometimes complete remission was achieved in as little as 4 weeks. Because of the work at the Municipal Hospital of Santo André, Lapacho has become a standard form of treatment for some kinds of cancer and for all kinds of infections in medical establishments throughout Brazil. But you won't find that here in the United States, because they don't use divine herbs like that. They'd rather fill you full of a toxic chemical. The national government ordered a blackout of any more public statements by doctors involved in the research. The silence was finally broken by Alec D. Montmorency, who in 1981 published a lengthy review of the ongoing clinical work in Brazil. This report succeeded stimulating worldwide interest back into the plant. See, these things are so divine healing. They try to put disinformation out there about it, and they try to silence it. But this information can't be silenced. Get your Palo d'Arco on, guys. It's going to provide your body total harmony, peace, love, and positive vibrations. Please stay tuned. I'm probably going to do a copper video next. That's kind of what I'm thinking, because we need to learn the benefits of copper. Copper is very, very grounding, and it's very, very good for circulatory issues. Now, how you take this is just follow the instructions. This says this particular bottle is nature's answer, and it contains 2 milliliters is the serving size, and it says as a dietary supplement, take 1 to 2 milliliters, which is between 28 and 56 drops, 3 times a day in a small amount of water. Now, I will tell you this, it's going to absorb just a little bit better if you can include this in a juice. So make your basic juice blend, drink a majority of this juice down, and then put your dose in the last remaining little bit of your juice. If you're juicing the turmeric with the black pepper with it, guys, this Palo d'Arco is going to work on a whole nother level, I'm telling you. Now, that's a good brand. This is probably my favorite brand, and let me read to you the instructions on this. This dried herb gives the ratio of the extract, which is a 1-to-4 ratio. Let me see if I can focus in on this, because this one is important. If you can read this, I'll try to hold my hand still. The ingredients in this are distilled water and certified organic alcohol, which is 23 to 33%, and vegetable glycerin. It says we prepare our Palo d'Arco extract from the dried inner bark of the purple flowered trees, which is sustainably wildcrafted in its natural habitat. You want to keep this away from EMF. Sorry about that. You want to keep this away from EMF activity, guys. I can't stress that enough. Build kind of a Faraday cage box for your oils and your divine herbs, and protect them with copper, because the EMFs affect the vibrations of these divine essences. And the instructions on this say, let me read it to you. It says, shake well before using. Take up to 40 drops in 2 ounces of water or juice 2 to 4 times per day. Best taken between meals. So sorry, I'm having some major issues with my camera here. They're telling you that it, and I believe that it is probably best taken on an empty stomach. But if you combine it with the juices, this is the best, guys, because the other phytonutrients in the carrot, for example, are going to help the Palo d'Arco to become better absorbed. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate all your support. Bye-bye.